Welcome, my dear friends, new friends, old friends, familiar faces and new faces. Welcome to the Center of Love, the world's first ever disorganized religion. Not very hard to find. If you're looking for the Center of Love, it's at the intersection of here and now. Just to say that wherever you are in that moment, you are the center of love. And as part of our mandate as spiritually mature people who are responsible and accountable for their own beliefs and for making their own way through the world in a loving way, we come together to share our truths, our wisdom, our hurts. We come here to support one another and to be supported, to teach and to learn. And one of the things that we do here is we make our own traditions. We don't feel trapped by the past. We are empowered to reinvent it and to create something of our own choosing. And so, for example, I just started a new tradition, new winter tradition that I want to share with you. It is this beautiful mug that I will be drinking from for the next week. It's got a wolf on top. It's got the daddy wolf and the mama wolf on there. And so this is now becoming a sacred chalice in the winter season for me. And from now on, in years to come, you will see me wielding this powerful wolf-like chalice. We encourage each other to make our own traditions because other people's traditions are other people's. And if we want rituals and practices that will help us to be our most authentic selves, who want to become the highest expressions of who and what we truly are, then we have to take these things into our own hands. And so it's a real pleasure and privilege to be here today with you folks for our first ever solstice gathering. Solstice is very important in my calendar, and I suspect in a lot of other people's calendars too, because it seems like this time of year in all cultures in the Northern Hemisphere, there are traditions and rituals and events that take place in the week, or in the days, I should say, between December 21st and December 25th. Does anybody know what solstice means? I'm a nerd. I love words. Yes, Maddie.
The beginning of something.
The beginning of something. Yeah, Cyrus, what do you got? The longest night of the year. Yeah, that's what the winter solstice is. Absolutely. But the word solstice, yes, name.
Sun farthest away.
Close. You're halfway there. The soul is the sun, and stite means to stand still. So the solstice is when the sun stands still. Throughout the year, its trajectory across the sky gets shorter and shorter. The days get shorter, the nights get longer, and then on December 21st, it reaches its lowest point, which is why it's the longest night of the year. And then for about 3 days, it seems to stand still. It doesn't change its trajectory. And so for our ancestors who were in tune with nature, who were matching their rhythms with the rhythms of nature, and who were very observant of nature, they saw this and it was terrifying to them. The sun, which brings life, which gives life, which sustains life, appeared to be dying and dead during this short period of time. But worry not. Anyone who has studied nature knows that nature works in cycles. So that, as someone was saying, Maddie, I think you were saying, the beginning of something. Well, the end of something is the beginning of something. And so this is why on December 25th, we celebrate the rebirth day of the Son of God. Not the sun like Cyrus is my son. No, S-U-N. See, this is all about the stars and the earth and the rhythms of nature. And we develop these beautiful mythos and these stories that help us to infuse the world with a sense of the mystery and the oneness. And so that's what we're going to do here today, my friends. We are going to be the spark in the dark on this, the darkest day of the year, the shortest day of the year. We are here to kindle the light of love together. That's what we do in the darkness. When it's the coldest, darkest period, we come together and we support each other and we cast the light into the darkness. And so how we're going to do that today is we're going to, first of all, we're going to spark the light with gratitude. We're going to dwell and contemplate the things for which we are grateful. And in so doing, we will intensify the light of love that is already within us. And then we're going to seek to let go of things that block our light. Maybe things that have happened in the last year that you want to leave behind, things that have been getting between you and the light, blocking your light, preventing you from becoming the highest expression of who and what you truly are. And then, last but not least, we are going to envision, manifest, attract a future that is bright with the light and the power of love. We're all going to do this together here, right now. What a blessing. What a great blessing. Before we jump into it, I will say this. One of the most profound revelations that I have ever experienced is the fact that I am nature. I'm not separate from nature. Nature isn't this thing out there that's doing stuff while I'm over here removed from it. I experienced the truth of this actually at an equinox ritual that I was doing. And I felt the truth of it. I saw it. The mind of nature is your mind. Nature is what nature is doing right here, right now. There's no separating. So by observing nature, by seeking to understand its rhythms, and then trying to put ourselves in alignment with nature, we are actually tapping into our full potential. And so in the winter solstice, we're doing this by, once again, kindling the light in the darkness. So, without further ado, we're going to meditate on the things for which we are grateful. And as we're doing this, as you are called, as you feel called to do so, we invite you to come and light a candle so that we can actually cast the light into this dark, gloomy space that we are currently occupying. And as you light that candle, try to think of something specific for which you're very grateful. And with that, we will light a spark of gratitude. So then, if we are nature, an expression of nature, and we wish to align ourselves with the cycles and the rhythms of nature, then this period of time that we are in at this moment is a time for rest and reflection. In ancient times, this is when you would start planning your crops for next year, looking over how you did the previous year, maybe adjusting your growing methods, maybe changing where you're growing where. So it's a time of reevaluation and preparation. Now, the cool thing about nature is, as you know, even though it looks like it's dormant right now, it looks like it's asleep or even dead, there's a great deal of activity taking place under the surface. The germinations of life are, even now, taking root in preparation for the spring. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to rest. We're going to reflect. We're going to look back at the last year, and we're going to see, what do we need to release? What do we need to dissolve? What is getting in the way of our light? And we're going to write those things down in a letter to the universe. We're gonna say, dear universe, or dear God, or dear source, dear Tao, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna send our letters to the universe, and we're gonna start our letters by letting go. Things that don't serve us, things that hinder our full, authentic expression as human beings. You know, I probably don't have to get too specific. I feel like everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Unless there's a few enlightened people in the crowd. And then the second half of our letter is going to be things that we wish to attract in the next year, things that we want to manifest in the next year, things that we want to cultivate in the next year. So again, if our life is a garden, we're planning for the next crops, the next growing season. It's not now. Now's the time for rest. But soon, spring will be upon us, and it will be time once again to get to work. So we have tables set up behind you. We have pens, we have paper, we have envelopes, and we'll spend maybe 20 minutes or as needed to write our letters to the universe. And then afterwards, the way that I make sure that my letter gets to the right recipient, AKA the universe, I burn it. And it goes into the universe. So after this, after our potluck, if you have your letters and you want to come for a quick drive into Langford to my house, I will have a fire in my backyard. Not an actual fire in my backyard, like in a fire pit, obviously. I won't be setting my house on fire, but and then you can deliver your letters yourselves if you wish, or you could, if you can't make it, you can go home and do it at your own with a candle, whatever works best for you.